Welcome back to our ongoing course where we're talking about qualitative data analysis. Up until now, we've been really talking about the 3 stages of qualitative analysis and the iteration that goes into those 3 stages. In this video, we're going to continue along and specifically focus on what I meant by when I said qualitative coding. In the vast universe of qualitative research, coding is the compass that guides us through the intricate maze of data. It's a tool really that helps us identify patterns, make connections, and ultimately tell a story. The first strategy of coding I'm going to talk about is called line-by-line coding. And this is often the most common strategy that people use. So starting at the most granular level, line-by-line coding involves meticulously examining each line of the transcripts and attributing labels or codes to those lines. It's like zooming in with a microscope, capturing sort of the nuances of participants' voice. This approach is particularly useful in early stages of your research, when the goal is really to become more familiar with the data you have. But there are other approaches, and often these other approaches don't get a lot of attention. So let's talk about section by section and paragraph by paragraph coding. So as you zoom out, there's paragraph and section coding. In these approaches, rather than individual lines, bigger chunks of data are your coding unit. The goal is really to attribute a label or a code to those chunks. This approach is helpful because it allows for capturing more broader themes and patterns in the data, especially when the data is dense or when the context is essential. Finally, the third strategy is axial coding. So once you have the initial codes, axial coding can come to play. And this is really about finding relationships. In other words, connections between different codes. It's kind of like constructing a web, where each strand of that web is a code, and the connections between them form an intricate pattern. So to end off, we're going to talk about 4 more general principles you should adopt when coding. So the first strategy you know of already, but I'm going to remind you, and that is that qualitative coding is an iterative process. Always remember that qualitative coding isn't a one-off task. It's iterative. It's moving. It goes back and forth. As you progress, revisit your codes, refine them, and ensure that they resonate with the data. The second is stay grounded. Always anchor your codes in what's being said in the data. Avoid the temptation to force data into pre-existing codes. Let the data guide you. The time for forcing codes into pre-existing frameworks is later. It's focus coding. But at that initial and pilot coding phase, go line by line, go paragraph by paragraph, go section by section, and code ground up. The third is seek feedback. Engage with peers, mentors, and collaborators on the research project. A fresh pair of eyes on this process can offer new challenges and interpretations, ultimately ensuring that your coding is robust. And finally, the fourth is maintain a coding journal. Document your coding journey. Note why certain codes were created by you. Why were they merged? Why were they discarded? This journal will act as a roadmap for you, tracing the evolution of raw data through your interpretations to structure findings. The art of coding is at the heart of qualitative data analysis. It's a bridge between the raw data and meaningful insights. As we wrap up this video talking about qualitative coding, remember that the essence of your coding is to give voice to the stories that are in the data. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let us know by liking, sharing, subscribing. Until the next video, take care.